If I'm speaking like, with some energy, it's because, A, I don't want to see you go down this path of just spending money. If you spend $700, it's like, shit, is there a way for you to get back that $700 off of the music? It's hard. So I
Right.
don't want it to cost much of anything to put music out. And I want you to be able to experiment and play. And also on top of that is there's an ideology. I don't like when I see people cannibalize each other when they're virtually at the same level. You can't be a producer who has like no qualifications actually, and like no real track record of anything or no proven history of success or not, like nothing really, and then charge an artist who equally doesn't have those things either. It's two people at the same level eating each other alive. That's not right. You guys need to work together, not charge each other anything, split everything 50-50, try to divvy, like, so that way you guys can create as much stuff as possible so that you can level yourselves up together.
Yeah.
This isn't leveling up together. This is you paying for a service from somebody you could have just paid for that same service for that was way better. You could get like Chris Brown's engineer for the same price. Sometimes he has off time or free time or it's a down season or he just worked on 5 records back to back and now he just wants to do something for fun. And you get that same guy to do the same thing. There are buyers and there are sellers in this world. And I'm not knocking anybody for being a hustler and being a seller. But you also have to figure out who you sell to.
And that's when you said you're like basically
cannibalizing other artists who are at your level. In the situation you're in right now, again, I would try to work for hire. If you can't, take it on the chin. You know, going forward, like the splits have to be determined before the writing.
So frustrating because like I know this and yet I don't do it. It's like, what? I can hit my head against my board here. But
anxiety.
Like,
it's fear. You don't want to deal with the conflict. You don't want to deal with somebody saying that they're going to work. And
that to me is like, that's the amateur.
Probably have to take it on the chin, do 50-50. And again, put it back in reality. 50-50 of what? Do you know a music publisher, a sync agent, have a connection to a music library? Is there a way to put this song in a position where it can actually monetize? Outside of the one thing that you're likely thinking about, which is Spotify streams.
Man, when you said it like that, when you're like, oh, you just spent $700, like, how are you going to get that back? Like, it's interesting how my brain didn't think about that.
You're a business. You have a product. That product goes out. At bare minimum, it has to make enough to pay for itself. If it's costing you $700 to put it out, then you got to say, fuck, how do I make $700 from this piece of music? How much is going to go into marketing, promotion, and advertising? If I spent $700 on recording, am I not going to spend $700 on marketing, promotion, and advertising?
Yeah. Same with the contract with the manager, like spent $4,000. Has he made me $4,000 in the 6 months that we've worked together? No. In the time that we worked together, like I won $10,000 and I won, with Joy Burst, but that was my initiative. Literally stumbled upon you on TikTok. Like from that $10,000, $1,460 and having to give it to him to pay off the debt I was in.
It's okay. This is all learning.
Learning is costing a lot of money.
It does. That's why you got to learn fast. Some people don't learn until they're like $250,000 in debt. Worked with an artist who has blown over 6 figures. Give me a song on Hot 97. The radio is with Big Boy. Hey, to get on an opening act for this artist. Hey, to get on tour with this artist. And it happens all the time. You want to open for an artist? All right. You got 20 grand? You got 10 grand? Cool. You can do it. He's dropped over 6 figures on his music career in the $250,000 world. And he doesn't have a music career. He's still very rich. But music wasn't the avenue. How do you think Brad has dropped on music? A lot. He has spent quite a decent amount of money on music. But the difference is that he made his money back multifold because he has a product.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It makes sense now. Again, it's interesting. Like I have to think like I'm going to go spend X amount, 100 or 1,000. Am I going to make it back?